It's the Big Rich Live on the Mike Radio Show here on YouTube. The real news and strong opinions given here. A platform to chop up game with the family, you dig?
What's good, people? What's good, people? Big Rich here, and welcome to the Big Rich Live on the Mike Radio Show here on YouTube. It's the Hump Day Show, y'all. I hope everybody's having a wonderful week. I know I'm doing it as good as I possibly can, and I'm very, very happy to be here once again. In good spirits, invigorated after our little break. I want to thank everybody who jumped on the African American news program that made its debut Monday. We got a lot of positive reviews. It was great. I think we're going to do that from now on. I like the format. I got to break some stuff up a little bit and clean some stuff up and stuff. But so far, you know, the reviews are awesome, and I sure appreciate it. Well, like I said, it's the Big Rich Live on the Mike Radio Show here, and we just got two stories. Actually, we was going to just do one story, and it was about the ambush. If you don't know, the ambush interview that was set upon Dr. Umar Johnson on TV One late last week, perpetuated and perpetrated by Roland Martin, a.k.a. the Boule Bird, and his cronies. So we was going to talk about that because I've been chopping it up back and forth last couple of days on Twitter with you guys, which is at Dark Shadow Media. Again, Twitter has been changed from the Big Rich Live on the mic to Dark Shadow Media. So check that out. Sign and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Again, like I said on the Monday show, I don't know why you ain't subscribed to us. You know, we chop it up back and forth, very informative and very professional, I think. Even people who disagree with my point of view. You know, I don't know how you disagree with my facts, but you disagree with my point of view. You know, we still, you know, hey, we agree to disagree without being disagreeable, right? So check us out on that. But then somebody sent a link to my inbox. And one of the shows that we had covered on Monday's show was the Orlando Police Department, my former police department, you know, which I bleed blue with them. You know, I've been a cop for 23 years, ups and downs and stuff like that. No place is perfect, you know, but, you know, I roll for them guys and gals. And they stopped Aramis Ayala, who is the first and only African-American female state attorney for the counties of Orange and Osceola. And a lot of people were saying it was racial profiling and officers was racist and stuff like that. I did not really address if there was racist or not because I really don't know which officers there were. And I have no independent evidence to say that they were racist. But I did feel that that was racial profiling. The area that it was, that the stop was made. And it's not a high crime area, but, you know, it is a frequently driven area. And what I felt the proper procedures, or not even the proper procedures, but the better procedures were not done. You know, so I said, okay, you know, without giving them the total benefit of the doubt, I wanted to wait for the investigation to continue. And then maybe next week, next month, whenever, you know, this final findings comes out and I read them and stuff like that, then I can give you my personal opinion based on being in that police department for 23 years, still knowing active members in all parts of that chain of command. I was going to be able to give an analysis of why this happened, why that happened, why they say this, why they said that, right? And then, like I said, somebody sends me a link via Twitter of this opinion piece from a Tom Rogan from the Washington Examiner. This is, this what kills me when you shroud bullshit, around the opinion piece, but yet and still you want to quote facts, but you're supposed to be given an opinion. I got a problem with opinion pieces anyway, but it is what it is, right? So I looked it up. I picked up my phone and stuff like that. Here's the phone. I picked them and I saw it, and it said, Rich, check this out. And it said the headline says the police officers who stopped Aramis Ayala are not racist. Okay. How do you know? Do you know them? Oh, that's your opinion. Okay. But you don't shroud your opinion under, oh, well, as far as I see, they don't appear to be racist, or I don't see anything leading me to think that they're racist. You just conclude that they're not racist. So I got a problem with you from the jump. Again, I'm not saying that these two fellow colleagues, even though I'm retired, we're still police officers. I'm not saying that they're racist or not. I have no independent evidence. I've seen the video many times. There were many mistakes. I started talking about some of the mistakes that were made on Monday's show. I'll get into it a little bit because those who didn't watch the African American news program Monday, again, I don't know why you didn't, but I'll just go over a little bit of what I said. And I stand on everything that I say. But I'm gonna read this article and we're just gonna talk about it. So we start. It says, on June 19th, Florida State Attorney Aramis Ayala was pulled over by two officers of the Orlando Police Department. On Wednesday, a video of that stop was released by police. But because Ayala is black and serves as head prosecutor for the area, including Orlando, the video has raised eyebrows. So that's the only reason. Again, he says, but because Ayala is black and served as head prosecutor in the area, it raised eyebrows. No, if this person had been an old white lady or old black man or old Asian person or young Asian person, it still should lead you to believe or have questions, to lead you to believe that something might have not been exactly how you're looking at it. And especially when you have I've checked to see if this guy had any type of law enforcement background or anything like that, which it doesn't show. He's an independent journalist. Matter of fact, I'll just read his little thing. It says, Tim Rogan is a political journalist based in Washington, D.C. Rogan grew up and was educated in London and United Kingdom, but holds American citizenship. He attended St. John's School, letterhead for secondary school, high school, before attaining a BA in war studies from the King's College of London. Okay, nothing on here says that he got any type of law enforcement background, but yet and still, according to him, that's why. That's the only reason. That's the main reason. No. Did that have a contributing cause? Did that contribute to it? You goddamn right it did. Okay, let's keep going. It says, believing most of the media reports about the interaction, the police involved seem racist. A CNN commentator, Keith Bogness, tweeted, Florida's only black state attorney, Aramis Ayala, pulled over by Orlando police, even though she had not violated any traffic laws. Similarly, Boing, I don't know what the heck that is, News tweeted, watch white Florida cops racially profile black female driver. Then learn she's the state attorney, Aramis Ayala. TV host Roland Martin assured his fans that Ayala would make sure the cops are dealt with. Those comments all fail to offer the true context of what happened. Really? Okay. We'll keep going. Don't take my word for it. Watch the video. I did repeatedly. And I'm looking at it as a police officer. You looking at it as somebody who has an opinion. When a clearly agitated Ayala asked the officer to explain why she was pulled over, they offered good reason. Good reason to who? Good reason to who? You? Okay. They offered good reason. When they ran her car tag, the computer did not ping back with a record. When Ayala didn't ask the officers why they ran her place in the first place, the officer explained that was standard procedure. at traffic lights. I'll delve in that in a quick second. Then he says he's telling the truth. Across the country, officers run plates in order to see if they match up with the car in question. And it's a way to find out whether a car has been stolen or its plates cloned. The ability of officers on patrol to detect crime rest in such proactive activity. First of all, sir, that is not standard operating procedure. Standard operating procedure is something that everybody does when they're on the road. Believe it or not, half the cops that are on the road don't do that. They got other stuff to do. Some cops don't like traffic at all, so they don't use it. Some cops, the only time they use it is when they have pulled somebody over for a visible traffic violation, or they're running tags because they're responding to a traffic crash. So you got to run everybody. Now, let's talk about what I said should have happened and what I have done many times. A lot of times, it's called David. I can give that out. It is a system that's connected into the Florida DMV, basically, okay? You can run a tag, you can run an ID card, you can run a driver's license, some serial numbers depending on what it is, okay? Sometimes the system doesn't work, okay? Sometimes it comes up with an error. Sometimes it'll come up with nothing found. You'll run it and it says nothing found. You know what you're supposed to do after that? Now, again, all of this is subjective, but I'm saying what you're supposed to do and what we all do. Oh, now I can't even say we all do it because they didn't do it. Obviously, because they didn't say they did it. Okay. I run a tag and it comes back not on file. I get behind the car. The very next thing I do before I initiate the traffic stop to make sure, A, that what I'm reading in my computer screen is correct. B, I have the legal authority to pull somebody over. Okay? You got all the time in the world. You're not in the drug spot. You don't see anything going on with people throwing guns or weapons out. You don't have any of that. It's just a routine traffic stop. They could have followed her from where they stopped her all the way down to, let's just say, John Young, not that you guys know, John Young Parkway and Old Winter Garden, which is about 2 miles, something like that. Getting on teletype, finding out if this is what they had. If you want to talk about opinions, my opinion is they was hunting. Hunting, trying to do proactive things. They found that, and then they initiated the stop without going the next step, which would have secured them. Because one, we don't know that if teletype had teletype means the big arm that runs tags and all that for not only the Florida, but nationally. We don't know if that was ever run. So if you run that, let's just say I put that tag in and it comes back, no record found. I go on teletype. The teletype's going to tell me one or two things. One, yes, it comes back, blah, 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 because I'm not even going to tell teletype, hey, I just ran it on David and it came back not on file. I'm going to say, give me a rolling, blah, 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 on this, that tag. That's it. That's it, right? Then they're going to come back to me and they'll be like, yeah, it comes back to a 2016, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I keep moving. I don't pull the car over. I keep it moving. I keep it moving. Now, are they covered by policy and maybe the law? Maybe because what you'll say is, hey, this is what, yes, I should have done that, but I was under the color of law and the tools that I had in my cruiser told me this, that, and the third. Okay? So again, Mr. Rogan? Let me get it right. Yeah, Rogan. Don't know what the hell he's talking about. period. And you know what the wild thing is? You always can tell when somebody is using their privilege. When you read something, especially when it's dealing with police officers in an African American community, you could always read and always figure out, this is a white guy. You know, this is why he does, you know, he hasn't a clue what it is. And my thing is this. This is what everybody can have an opinion. Opinion just like a booty hole. Everybody got one. Right? But there's certain things that you should keep your opinions to yourself when you have not walked a minute in somebody else's shoes. That's just like me if I was filthy rich talking about how the poor should be living. I've never been poor in my life. That's insulting. We're gonna finish. It says, we've already debunked that. Okay. Regardless, the simple point here is that the police had grounds to pull Ayala over. And in their interaction with her, as proved on the camera, they were polite and professional. Okay. So again, what does that mean? Nobody ever said, at least not that I heard, that said that these guys wasn't professional and polite. The fact of the matter is they pulled her over in the first place. That was the deal. And then, as you heard, the primary officer, you know, did not articulate it well, stuttered, was sort of shocked when he found out who she was. That's just like, you know, me when I was on the road, I pull over the sheriff who's driving an unmarked car, you know, or I pull over the deputy chief of another agency for some bullshit. And now I'm like, oh my God, now I'm going to have to try to articulate this shit, and hopefully I can bullshit my way through. Let's continue. Ayala, on the other hand, was somewhat petty, presumably to make them think she intended to register a complaint. Petty. See, again, petty. This is a person with privilege trying to tell you that you're petty for being pulled over for what you feel as a lawyer. Last time I checked, this guy's not a lawyer. As a lawyer, you think the whole stop was petty. Now, like I said before, I don't know these two guys. So I'm not going to sit up here and say that these guys are racist. I have no idea. I have no idea. They did not exude racist behavior to me. But I can't sit around there and say that they ain't racist either. Because, again, I don't know them, and I didn't see what they did just prior to that or before they had the cameras. You know what I'm saying? Is again, it's almost like this I'm white and I say so type mentality. You know, where this is my opinion, this is what I see, and I feel that you're petty because you think something totally different. Now, all of these cats sitting up here trying to say that definitively they were racist and bigots are wrong because you just don't know. You just don't know. Unfortunately, because there are racists and bigots in law enforcement, and, you know, I guess the saying is now race soldiers. They're not even cops. They race soldiers posing as cops. A lot of people, you get painted by the same brush. I remember I can't even say my last year, because my last year I was really sick with dealing with cancer. So like from, let's say, February of last year, when I was first diagnosed with cancer, to when I retired in November, I didn't go back on the road. You know, I couldn't, you know, I couldn't. 8 hours or 6 hours of surgery, you know, 4 months of rehabilitation and all that stuff. I just couldn't do it, you know? So, but I'm saying the year before that, when a lot of this stuff was going out and stuff like that, I really, really was like, I don't want to take a bullet or get run up on or get run over by somebody mad at what somebody else did that was wrong. You know what I mean? Some of this bullshit that cops were doing. And again, this has nothing to do with this situation. I'm just talking when I say I hear this from a lot of my fellow brother and sister officers who are coming up on retirement now. They was like, dude, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I don't know if I'm going to get taken out because I know I'm a good cop. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about this is what people are telling me. I know I'm a good cop. I know I treat everybody with respect. But a lot of people out here look at me as a cop, period. And they put me in the same boat as everybody else. So I wind up taking a bullet for some bullshit that somebody else did. And now that's what they're talking about, just going off the subject, just a quick minute. That's what they're talking about might have led to that sister officer in New York City, being ambushed and killed by that crazy or deranged African-American male because he thought that cops was after him, trying to kill him. Again, I'm not excusing anything, but this is the type of stuff that you think about. Look at Micah Johnson, I think his name, the one in Louisiana, I think it was Dallas. I think it was Dallas. He was, when he was talking about his manifesto, he was talking about, what happened to Alton Sterling and Philando Castile and stuff like that. I didn't do anything to these young brothers. You follow what I'm saying? The Jordan Crawfords, all of these type of stuff right there. But then somebody takes a bullet who had nothing to do with that because they're a police officer. So, Mr. Rogan, how dare you call somebody petty? I looked at the same video that you did, and she didn't seem petty. She wanted to know what the deal was. And in fact, because she was a lawyer, because she's a state attorney, she knows what you can and what you can't pull people over. So unless you got a law goddamn degree, I need you to fall back, brother. I need you to fall back about how definitive you are. Let's finish. Don't get me wrong. I can understand why Ayala might be skeptical of police stops. The statistics and the anecdotal statistics and the evidence all suggest that black citizens are more likely than other races to be stopped unjustly. This is a social concern that cannot be ignored. And my friend Clarence Page has eloquently explained we need to work to ensure everyone's trust, and that they're treated fairly with police. See, this is another thing. Basically, they tell you nothing happened. There's nothing to see here. Then they say, you the one who's petty. You the one who seemed agitated. Then they give you a little nugget. Well, we do know that is an unfair system. But right after that, they go back to kicking your ass. Now, I just read that. That sounded real good. Trying to say that anecdotal evidence all suggests that black citizens are more likely than other races to be stopped unjustly. Here it is. Then he goes, yet that's exactly what happened in this case. The police acted fairly. Again, it's important to note that we know this because the officers were wearing body cameras, which are key elements in improving police community relations. Nonetheless, politics might lurk below the surface here. Ayala is currently challenging blah, 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 all that old bullshit, right? I've pretty much explained what I mean by that. It's your privilege. If you know or you feel, let me just say this. This is what I'll say this because, I have a lot of Caucasian friends. I have more Caucasian associates. I have a whole hell of a lot of Caucasian brother and sister officers. And we talk a lot. We talk a lot. That's one thing that I've always enjoyed about at least my interaction in the 23 years that I've been in the Orlando Police Department and pretty much toured pretty much all over the state. Black people, and this is just generally speaking, black people, we have an inherent anger. You follow what I'm saying? And it is something that rolls in the surface because you're getting screwed every day. Every day you're getting screwed. Either at your job, you're getting screwed. I said screwed. Screwed either at your job, in your neighborhood. You see these type of videos. Not this. I'm not talking about this. But you see these type of videos where police officers, they have one in L.A., I want to say, where this officer comes in and beats a homeless woman, unarmed homeless woman in, in a delicatessen, convenience store, like she was a dog. And then a complaint was lodged. This is before the video was found. A complaint was launched, and they closed it. Ain't nothing to see here. Now the video comes out. Now they reopen the case. When you see stuff like that, it triggers you, because most black people that I know have somebody that has had a negative encounter, some multiple negative encounters by the police officers. I'm not talking about you out there slinging dope, and you out there doing 110 miles an hour, or you beating up on your wife or your girl. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who feel, and they was like, I know it was profiled. I'm driving, I went to see my cousin. He lives in the ghetto. I'm driving a good car. I come out, they pulled me over. They didn't give me any ticket. You know what I'm saying? Didn't tell me what I was pulled over for. This is the type of stuff. So you have a kind of anger that is just below the surface. It's just below the surface. And when you get pulled over and you was like, I know I didn't do nothing wrong. I just looked at my car. All my lights is on. I know I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not speeding. I use my signal. What the hell are you pulling me over for? So yes, you get that. I'm always ready to get somebody's attitude when I used to pull people over. And I used to put them at ease. Hey, calm down. I'll explain to you exactly what's going on. Let me get your license and registration. They give me that, and I'll be like, well, I pulled you over because XYZ. And what I would do is I would put them at ease. But hey, everything good with your license? Yeah, okay. Well, look, I could go back here and write you a $168, $178, $210, whatever it is, whatever ticket was, and you have 3 points in your license. You want me to do that? I didn't think so. If I felt a good vibe, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna let you off this time. Don't ever say the police ain't never did nothing for you. I give them back their ID and their registration, and they move on. If I felt a little bit leery, I'd be like, everything good with your license? Yeah, man, everything good with my license. All right, now, hey, I'm gonna go back here. I need you to stand, I need you to sit here, keep your hands where I can see them. Just calm down, listen to your music, whatever. If everything is cool, I'll get you right out of here. Okay, bro? That's how I interacted. I didn't care if they was white, black, old, or young. That's how I did it. I put people at ease. Why? Because it is a traumatic experience, especially if you're a minority. These are things that this Rogan has never had to go. I don't care if he stood up there and said, well, look, I've been pulled over many times. Okay, you might have, but I guarantee you not one of your interactions was anything like these other African-American and other minorities situations. So how dare you sit up there and say she was petty? She was pissed off. She's a lawyer. She's a state attorney. She knows what they can and what they can't do. And I've already told you what should have happened. It's not standard operating procedures unless it has changed in the last 6 to 8 months that I've been gone. They don't tell you, okay, every time you sitting at a light, you use David and you run tags. They don't tell you that at all. It is a tool that you can use. A tool like David running tags is just like the tool that you use, your gun or your ass baton, your wits. These are all tools that you can use. It is not standard procedure for them to do. It's just bullshit, but it sounds good. And I can say it, and it's my opinion, so it sounds good. But you always, not always, you're talking out the side of your neck, bruh. Really, it's insulting. It's insulting. So, shoot, I done said, You guys know how I get. Y'all know how I get. You know, it's already damn near 30 minutes. I can't even get to the next one. So we'll push that to Friday for What's the Real Deal. But I'm going to get on out of here because I think I'm going to have to strangle my dog, see what she going out there doing. I don't know what's happening with her. So I'll see what's happening with that. But I appreciate everything you do. Do me a couple of things if you can. Go ahead and hit that like button below. Subscribe if you haven't. Again, I don't know how you ain't subscribed to this channel by now. But subscribe to the channel. And if you really want to get down, hit that bell to the side of the subscribe button. And what that will do is every time we upload a show, you'll get a notification so you won't miss anything. Because let me tell you something, we're just reaching our stride, and we're going to start pumping them out and doing them because I got so many emails and tweets and stuff like that you guys want me to cover. So we're going to definitely get down and dirty in here. And if you don't mind this particular video, if you can like, share, and I already said subscribe. So if you can like and share to your social media platforms, I surely appreciate it. Each one teach one. And that's how we put the word across. I've reached out to a couple of people who has shows, Phil from Advise Show Media and Advise Show TV, to offer my police experience in answering some of the questions that his subscribers have and that he might have. He has a awesome, what I feel courageous interview with a current captain, African-American, young brother. He's younger than I. And he's basically just breaking it down, just basically talking about how it is, you know, to driving while black, you know, and I commend him for it, you know, hey, but stuff like that, you know, that I'll be doing for other channels and stuff like that, just basically trying to clear away the bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Clear away the smoke so you can see the trees through the forest. You feel me? So I'm going to be out on that. You guys know how to get in touch with us. I'm out of here. I will see you Friday for What's the Real Deal. So in the meantime, in between time, stay blessed, stay safe. Please stay safe. Stay woke, as always. Peace. Your boy out of here.